right, you got the whitetail hunter coming at you here. Woo! I got a lot of work to do. I've been trying to put it off because of the heat, and it ain't gonna get no better. It's just savage out here. And I had that episode, so I'm gonna try to get her done anyway. It's supposed to be getting some rain, and I got to get them brassicas in, so I got to do some cleaning up back in the hole in the wall. I gotta throw down 600 pounds of fertilizer. I gotta disc it in with my tiller, smooth it out, then I gotta crank it out. So I don't know how far I'm gonna get or what's gonna happen, but man, it is literally sweltering out here. But fertilizer here in the back of the truck, and I got my trusty Kubota. I'm gonna take this harrow back there. I got it all rigged up to try to drag all that garbage off the hole in the wall that I had in there. You gotta excuse my shop. I've been running things in and out of here, working on them, and got about 50 projects going on at once. And I got 3 acres of big and beastie to put in, I believe. Yep, 1 acre. Anyway, so I got plenty of work to do. When I go to put my fertilizer down, I showed in my other video, I use a Snow X. And those are made to go on a truck. They just got a pickup hitch on them. They're not that expensive. They got a screen in the top and a little teeny auger in the bottom. And it's made to throw salt, and you got a control box. I forget what I paid for it. It wasn't that bad, but I used it to salt my driveway. But you can put down thousands of pounds of lime or fertilizer or whatever, and you throw it behind that Kubota or your pickup truck or your Kawasaki or whatever you have, and you can fill that thing up. And if I want to put down thousands of pounds, somebody's in the back dumping it in that hopper as fast as I'm throwing it out. It really puts it out. Anyway, whew, I'm not even got started yet. It's hotter than a devil's ass crack out here, I'm telling you. But I'm gonna try to get after it and see if I can stay right side up. I got a whole cooler full of cold beverages and Gatorade and water, so we'll see what happens. I may have to stop till evening, but we'll get her started anyway. Talk to you later. How about that? By the time I got that harrow all chained to the back of the freaking Kubota and wrestled it up in the back and secured it in, got everything ready to go back there. The sweat was dripping in my glasses so daggone hard, and the heat was setting in. I got a little bit of a breeze, but if you're not exerting yourself a whole lot, you know, you'll be all right just driving around in the four-wheeler or the Kubota or something maybe. That Kubota usually had air, but it ain't working, of course. It works good in the wintertime. Anyway, I was also going to say that Snow X, you know, a lot of them hitches, that thing can hold 500 pounds. A lot of hitches, you know, ain't made to rate 400 pounds on your tongue weight. So I just take a strap and I run it down underneath the metal frame and back up into the box of that Kubota to hold most of the weight up into the box. You know, you could do that on a smaller truck or, you know, I don't know what all you could put that on. Maybe an ATV, I don't know. But you can put it on, you know, whatever you can get it on, and that box mounts up real easy. And I usually run that box on like 1. There's like a setting of 1 to 10 or something, and it throws so much. But sometimes when I'm throwing fertilizer, I'll turn it up so I can really, you know, it'll throw it a long ways too. But anyway, it didn't get very far. I'm sitting in the cab of this Chevy with the seat cooler on, and turned down low trying to get my clothes dried out here before I head to the back. So all this in the name of deer, I guess. We'll see. All right, you guys stay safe and hope you're getting your work done. All right, I'm back at the hole in the wall, and this is what I got to work with so far. I'm gonna getting ready to get started. All this trash, chunks of wood everywhere. Hopefully this harrow will grab all that crap and drag it out of here. get to work. Woo. As usual, we got a surprise. I turned over here and must have been a sharp stump right over here. Went through my sidewall somewhere. I heard the air come out. Those are heavy duty tires too. I've always been turning the other way. I got quite a bit of that field cleaned up. But now I got another problem. I got some spare tires and wheels, so I just gotta go get one. More work. Ooh. I wish the breeze would pick up a little bit. All right, keep at it. Hey, how you doing? I don't really believe in bad luck. I always think something happens for a reason, but I punched that hole in the side of that tire, and the time I got back up to the shop, I was draining water so fast there's no way I could keep it in. It was, I mean, even after I waited a long time for it to cool down, it was still 105. Feels like temperature outside. And I waited till, probably 6 to come back out. Maybe even later, I'm not sure what time it is. But on the refrigerator in the shade on the front porch, it was still 95. But I went back to the shop and I dropped off the Kubota, got back in the house and got everything off and got cooled down. I mean, no use having a stroke over this stuff. It's really, really hot out. But I put the drag behind the old Grizzly, and I got this looking, how it's good enough. I think I'm gonna call it good. I already round upped it before, and I'll come up here and I'm gonna go back and put a wheel on that put a wheel on the Kubota. Then I'm gonna get the solder on there, load her up with fertilizer, and I'm gonna go fertilize everything. That'll be the easy part. Just driving around and turning that solder on. And then I'm gonna go back and put the rototiller, the 6-foot tiller on the Coyote tractor and start tilling. And I'm gonna work as long as I can into the dark and see what we can get done. I like to get it tilled and packed and then seeded, but I don't know if I'm gonna get that far or not. But I'm gonna keep pushing. We'll see what happens. For now, we're out. Well, yesterday I finished dragging off that hole in the wall. I never should have jinxed myself. And those last words I said, all I got to do is go up and get the solder, and that'll be the easy part on the Kubota. Well, I went up and slapped that baby on and plugged it in and turned on my control box, and it kept saying not connected. I just used that a month or two ago to spread fertilizer. Worked great. It's been using it forever. And I went through all the wiring and I couldn't find anything. Then I grabbed my electric tester and it broke. So I was trying to do it by eye, and I was trying to figure it out. So I tore the whole SnowX apart. And so that definitely jinxed me, I think, when I said that was going to be the easy part. But so I still didn't get any farther. I think I'm going to go down there and try jumper and wire over to the motor and bypass that whole box and just put a dummy switch on there, run it in high, and get some fertilizer on the soil so I can get it disked in. But sometimes it's always a fight. Man, it can be an uphill battle, and sometimes things can go great, but a lot of work in food plotting, especially when there's zero money coming back in it. You can put thousands of dollars into it, and it's not a money-making deal, that's for sure. I think it's a labor of love. But anyway, I just wanted to give that little update. I worked out there till after 11 last night, so I'm pretty much sore all over, but we're out for now. See how they're using that sorghum or green screen for cover? It's all chicory, clover, and alfalfa. It's Alpha Rock Plus, but that whole hill, but they hug right next to that green screen as they come up the whole hill. All right, July 30th. We got stalled out last night, as you seen on my previous video, and I just wanted to show you a little bit. That's my Snow X. You can put up to like 500 pounds of weight in it, something like that. That's 575. And it's got a big old control cable. I put it all in when I originally, but it's got some, I'm getting a whole new cable. That's not the cable. No, it's down there on the ground. Anyway, the cable's all jacked up, but I threw it on my power probe, which is already fused, so it's going to make a noise when I plug it in. But then when I want to throw salt, or fertilizer, I just push that. I don't know if I can get around there far enough to see or not. See, that sucker's throwing it clear out. It's throwing fertilizer clear over here from the Kubota, so it really pitches it out. Anyway, I got this half acre pretty much done. Now I'm gonna go work on this half or 3/4 acre, then I'm going back to the hole in the wall. But where there's a will, there's a way. I just farmered it up and got her running, so we're gonna keep out of here and get this on the soil, and then go back and hopefully get the rototiller on the traction. Maybe that'll go smooth. We'll see. Okay, this is the hole in the wall after I tilled it up. It's got a little wood in it, but it tilled up pretty nice. Now I gotta go pack it, seed it, and repack it along with all the other stuff. But man, this for being almost solid wood, it turned out real nice. Iowa Hunter coming out here from the Rockin' Bay. It's July 31st. I worked into the dark last night. It was starting to lightning all over the place. I was trying to get that last field packed, and then I popped the daggone roller off the back of the four-wheeler and headed for the ranch as quick as I could. And winds picked up to about 45 miles an hour, and it started raining right when I got here. So it's been a long 3 days. Anyway, last night we got a little over 2 1/4 inches of rain, which was well needed. It was so dusty running that tractor, I couldn't even see the daggone instrument panel. Couldn't see where I was going half the time. Had to wear a bandana over my face. It was terrible dusty. And that thing, when the gate's down, puts down such a fine, it can put down such a fine dirt pattern that I don't think I really should have to or pack it first, but you're supposed to. So I packed it, then I went back in and seeded it, and then I went back in and repacked it. And when I got to that last field, the hole in the wall, this will be a little experiment. After I rototilled it, it was so fine, I just seeded it, and then I went right in and packed it over top. To me, I was just pushing that seed right down with the rest of the soil and setting it. So it sure looks on that half acre over by the big field, after I packed it and then I went back in and seeded it, it looked like a runway. I mean, it was pretty slick looking. So I don't know if that's the greatest or not, and some of that's because I had my gate down and I was turning that dirt up pretty fine. So want to see how that turns out, but that's a little experiment. But 3 days of really hard work, and everything that could go wrong seemed like it went wrong. The tractor even overheated, and I had to get out and clean the radiators, the dirt out of the radiator, and get that cooled back down again before I could get started. But it's a muddy day today, so today's the day to catch up on a little bit of relaxation, and I'm awful sore. So, but we got everything in. We'll see what happens next, and this rain ought to help things go. So for right now, it's a whitetail hunter, and we're gonna get back started relaxing later. Iowa hunter coming out here from the Rockin' Bee. What we're gonna do is take a little run back, and we got about 2 1/4 inches of rain after I did all that planting. So I'm gonna go take a look back at where I put all the brassicas in, and see if it looks like they got washed out or what happened. We'll get started from up here. Get started up here by the ranch. This is what it looks like to drive down my lane here now. The deer really utilize the screen on the right side. On the other side, they walk up right next to it. I'll put one of those deer walking up there on my video, but this isn't the tallest right in here. It's probably 5 foot tall. It gets a lot taller right here. That's over 8 foot tall there. But look, I'm sitting on a 4-wheeler, so I'll let chicory and alfalfa on the other side. It gives them a good little feeling of comfort. And then this worked out just about how I thought it would down here. On the other side of this stuff to the right, the beans. They're doing good. Anyway, I just want to show you a little bit about what that cover looked like coming down there. This is doing all right. And we'll get back there and check out the stuff I planted and see what it looks like. All right, I'm on the back 40 now, over by my apple trees, and this is what it looks like after I fertilized it. Well, I round up at first, then I fertilized it, then I rototilled the whole thing, then I packed it, then I seeded it, and then I repacked it. And it's over a ½ an acre. It's a ½ an acre just on the other side. And you can see where we got the rain. It doesn't look like it was dry enough, luckily, that I think the ground soaked up a lot of the moisture. So I think this is gonna be all right up here. I was really worried about washout. But you can see the deer tracks, just like overnight I got deer tracks all over here. This is why the beans didn't grow up here to start out with. They got 3 inches tall and they mowed them down. But there's deer tracks all over here just in one night. Now I'll probably wait and fence these off once I see a little bit of germination going on. But it looks like there's tracks down there. A little teeny bit of washout way down in that corner. I mean, a small crevice, nothing really big. So I think I'm gonna be all right here. Anything that's green in here, it's already been sprayed with Roundup before I rototilled it, so it'll just continue to die. So, and then this strip here, it runs all the way up and down with brassicas, but we're gonna see. I don't know if I'll fence that or not, if I'll do the whole thing or not, but we'll go look at another spot. I call this area the horseshoe, and what happens is, it starts here, but it does connect to a ½ acre plot. Of course, that's all chicory and clover, but it connects here, and it's pretty wide. And then it goes clear down that way, and then it takes a left and goes clear over, connects to another field, comes back up to my bean field. And that was all cul-de-pac, just like the other one, seeded, repacked, fertilized. And these beans over here, they were growing about 6 inches tall. And I just tilled them in because they weren't going to do anything. When you look at the beans that are fenced in, there's going to be no comparison in them. So I went ahead and rototilled all these beans up right in here too. These beans were pretty uniform. They were in rows from the planter and everything. Weeds. But, well, there's a couple beans there still that I didn't get the tiller on. But, you know, them weren't growing up. Well, they were growing. There's flowers right there that I was going to have a bean on it, but the deer were eating these off so much. But that's all been rototilled and put in brassicas, and that goes all the way back over, connects to that other field. And then, of course, the beans here. And those beans were over 3 feet tall 2 weeks ago, and they look like they're chest high on me right now. That's going to be one heck of a bean field, and you can't see over it. But anyway, this video wasn't about my bean field. It was about putting in the brassicas and seeing what takes. I'll take you back and show you the hole in the wall, the one I kind of just made. And if for some reason this don't take, I'll go back and I'll overseed it really heavy with oats, winter rye, and winter wheat. And I really seed the heck out of it with that, and maybe do 2 or 3 seedings, like so that it comes up different times, and that'll really bring the deer in if the brassicas don't work. All right, let's run over the hole in the wall.